So in this video, you're going to see how to make a reflection using Photoshop CC. First, you open Photoshop, then click on File, New. You want to open the letter option under your recent items. You may have to scroll down to see this item. Click on Create. And you have an 8.5 by 11 document size. Now you want to click on File and Place Embedded. Make sure you ask your teacher where to find the image that we're using in the example. You want to open the fall leaf tree. So click one time and then click Place. Now you want to move the image so it's matching up with the edges. Just press and drag. Make sure you press Enter when you're done. Now look over your layer panel. Right click on your image and you want to choose Duplicate Layer. Photoshop gives it the same name as your original layer, but it adds the word copy at the end. We'll just click OK. Now you see you have two copies of the image in your layers panel here. So you want to click on the new layer, which is the one on top. Now you want to click on Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. Edit is up on the top here. Then you want Transform and Flip Vertical. So make sure you're on the Move tool, and if you're on the Move tool, you can just drag this down and make sure it matches up with the top picture. So these are your two images. This is the original one. This is the duplicate layer that's been flipped. And you see here, they should be touching. Make sure the tree trunks are aligned. And you may have to use your keyboard arrows to move these over a little bit at a time. Like so. So now on our new layer, which we should be on already, this is our top layer. You want to go to Filter, Blur, and then Motion Blur. And you should see this little dialog box opening up. You see there's been a blur already applied here. And we're looking to create a softening or stretching effect that you see in large reflections where there's water. So the distance between 5 and 20 should be fine. Right now my distance is 10, but I could slide this over. See what it looks like if I go to 200. Well, that'd be too much blur. So it should be between 5 and 20. If you don't want to use this little dial, then you can just type in the number you want. So I'll type in 15. Once you have the value you want there, you click OK. And when you're working with filters, you can apply the filter more than one time in order to get a more pronounced effect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and do the same thing a second time. So we went to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. And what we want to do here is we want to change the direction of the blur so it's at 90 degrees. So we're going to move the distance bar. So we want the direction of the blur to be 90 degrees. Last time it was at 0. So here you see it says 0. We'll type in 90. And we still have our blur here, or our distance, at 15. And I want to change that to 20. So this is the second time we apply a motion blur. The first time was just a distance of 15. The second time we change the angle and the distance, and then we'll click OK. Now we want to give it that effect of water. So we're going to go to filter and then distort. And we want to click where it says ripple. You see there's already been a ripple applied at 100%. The size is medium. And by moving the slider, we can select the degree of wave movement on the surface. We want to keep it to like a light breeze. We'll keep the waves medium. And let's just move the slider over a little bit less or a little bit more to see what happens to our reflection. So you see right there, that would be a lot of ripple. There is no single value you can put here, so you can play with it. I'm going to leave it at about 322 and click OK. So now you should see your top picture very clear, nice picture, and then the bottom you should see it rippled and with the blur filter. So now we want to click on the top layer again just to make sure it's selected, and we want to lower the opacity to make it lighter. So we click on the down arrow of the opacity, and then we'll just lower this here, because the reflection should be lighter than the actual image. That might be too much there. So around 90% should be good. And that's your reflection.